What is up, YouTube? It's Twinn here, and welcome to the 7th episode of Gaming with Twinn Age of Empires. Today we're going to be continuing through the Ascent of Egypt learning campaign on the hardest difficulty, and we are on the 8th mission entitled Crusade. Let's jump right into it, and we can see at the top that we've reached 1900 BC, and according to the map below, we have expanded to the north quite a ways, and we are right on the border of the Libyans. Now, the scenario instructions read, "The great new temple has had a powerful effect on the people of Egypt. Priests are revitalized in their fervor and are spreading the word upriver and along the coast. You are leading a new settlement in the west near Libya, where raiders have been harassing Egyptian towns. These raiders possess a powerful new weapon called a ballista. Capture the ballista and bring it to your town center." So it sounds to me like the only objective is just going to be converting a ballista and bringing it to our town center. And we're going to accomplish this with a new unit called the Priest. And this guy's really cool. He's going to be able to walk up to an enemy unit and convert it to our cause, which is going to be very helpful. Now, before we get started, I'm actually going to jump into the historical notes and take a look. It says that the Egyptians developed a rich and varied religion based on the worship of around 2,000 gods and goddesses. Some of these deities were worshipped throughout the country, some by a specific town and others within the home. Many of their religious beliefs were linked to the sun and the Nile, the two entities most responsible for the agricultural bounty that was the basis for Egypt's relative affluence. The pharaohs, with the help of priests, conducted rites throughout the year to ensure the regular rise of the Nile and movements of the sun. For major deities, great temples were built. Each temple was considered a home on earth for the god or goddess to which it belonged. A temple was not a place of worship. The cult statue representing the deity might only be shown a few times each year at specific festivals. The people brought offerings to the temple that were collected by priests and priestesses. The people could pray to a statue of the pharaoh, believed to be a descendant of the gods, who might intercede on behalf of the petitioner. Questions for the god or goddess were passed to priests or priestesses for reply. How very interesting. We're going to jump right into the scenario now, and it looks like right off the bat I can see a villager to the south, conveniently right next to a berry bush and a granary. We've got another villager here that I'm going to assign to meet as well, and here is our new priest unit. And to the north here we've got a couple villagers conveniently located next to some trees and a storage pit, which is very nice. Alright, so we've got, looks like we've already got a barracks, an archery range, a stable, we've got a market. It looks like we have a temple where we can train priests, but we have no gold, but we have a market. I don't remember, how do we use the market to get gold? I can't quite remember. For right now, we're going to train a few military units. Can't do a scout right now. We've got an axeman training and a bowman training at the moment, and we've got our priest, and I think this is going to be pretty simple. I think we're just going to walk around until we find either a ballista all by itself or perhaps surrounded with units. This is a pretty small map. There may be some fortifications over here, but judging by the size of the map, that's not very likely, it seems to me. It's likely that we're going to have just a quick skirmish, and the objective here will just be to capture the ballista in the process. So let's get another axeman training, and let's get another bowman going. We don't have enough food. We are going to, as soon as we get 50 food, we're going to go ahead and create another villager, just to get our economy moving a little quicker. I'm not exactly sure how big our military force needs to be to take on this ballista, but we definitely don't want to march into something unprepared. And again, I'm not exactly sure how we produce gold with the market, but I'm about to find out. Okay, market used to build the farm and research technologies that improve your military units and the effectiveness of your villagers. Alright, so the market doesn't actually get us gold. In Age of Mythology, the market helps you earn some gold, so that's why I just assumed that this game would work the same way. And we are at 50 meat now, so we can create a new villager. And we'll get him working on these berry bushes so we can gain some meat. We have a lot of houses down to the south, enough to support 28 population. I don't know that we'll need a military that big, but it's apparent that they gave us plenty of houses, probably for a reason. So we'll try to build up a little economy and start pumping out some military units. Really, our only paths are across the river here. You guys can just guard right here. The priest moves very slow, which I guess is fair considering how powerful his ability is. We're at 60. Let's go ahead and spawn another villager, and then we'll get some more axemen going, some more bowmen. We've got a toad over here collecting plenty of wood. We've actually got quite a bit of wood. I'm gonna have you guys come over here and work on the meat production. I don't think we're gonna need that many axemen and bowmen. At least I hope not for this mission. Alright, we've got another villager. We're gonna assign them to gathering meat. And now we're going to start training bowmen. We can improve the bow. I don't even think that's gonna be necessary. Alright, we've got a bowman on the way, and as we are able to, we'll just continue to add units to our military. Why don't we say, how about 10 or so units? We've got 4. We're about to have our 5th. Got our archery, our bowman training right now. Here's our 2nd bowman. He doesn't want to move. There he is. Alright, here we go. Head over here. And what are these guys doing? Did I accidentally select them? I might have. Yeah, it looks like I did. You guys get back to work over here, collecting meat. We've got enough food to train another axeman, and we're about to have enough food to train another bowman as well. So all is going well in the kingdom so far. Now, the scenario instructions implied that we were going to be facing raiders, which leads me to believe that the ballista will probably be defended. Here's another axeman spawned, and we've got another bowman. Looks like we've got 80 food, so we can go ahead and get another axeman training and almost get another bowman training. We just need 10 more food. But yeah, our little military is building up here, and hopefully we'll be able to take on some raiders before too long. Let's see, this cost food and wood, the improved bow. And I'm not exactly sure how much the improved axe costs. This is 140 food and 80 wood. This is 120 food and 50 gold, which we don't even have, so I'm just going to assume that we don't need that right now. Alright, we've got a bowman in production and another axeman in production. And let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units, so we'll just go ahead and spit out another axeman and another bowman, and we'll give it our best shot. We'll just wander across the river and see what happens. These guys are out of meat, so I guess they could go over here and hunt these deer if they wanted, but I'm hoping that won't be necessary. Alright, so we've got our little fighting force. We'll go ahead, you guys go ahead and come over here and start hunting deer, just in case we need more units in the near future. You guys all move across the river. Okay, so all we really have to do is convert the ballista and get it back to our town center, so whatever it takes to do just that. And I'm actually going to leave the priest. He's walking slow anyways. He's going to be behind the front lines. I just don't want to get him too close because it seems like we're only going to have one priest. Oh, there's the ballista, and here are some raiders. Okay, let's get moving forward. There are actually quite a few units here. A lot of them are bowmen. Yeah, we need to advance as fast as possible. Alright, we're down a unit. Okay, we're going to have the priest come up and convert the ballista as quickly as possible. Okay, you guys focus on him. You come down here to this guy, and priest, we need you as fast as we can to convert this unit. Alright, it looks like we've almost got their, we've almost got these forces dealt with. Okay, we don't need you to kill the ballista. Okay, this guy's gonna die quite immediately. Okay, he's converted. So, really, we can use him to fight. Okay, he's dead. I wonder if we can land one good shot on this guy. Come on. Good hit. Awesome. Perfect. Well, I think we did this perfectly. We spent all of our military units. Look at this little battle. They had a little farm going over here, town center, granary, and storage pit. They had no villagers. They just had a small little raider military force. I guess that's it for this scenario. We'll just march the ballista back to the town center. And, yeah, we'll celebrate another victorious scenario. Yeah, that was actually a pretty simple scenario, but it did come down to the wire. We just barely won that confrontation. Really, if I just sent one or two more units into the fight, or if I had the priest with me in the first place, then it would have been easier. So what I've learned here is that leaving the priest behind was a bad idea. That was my tactical mistake in that scenario. So really what I needed to do is have the priest right with my units, so that as we approached, the priest could immediately convert the ballista to our side and start moving the ballista back behind our forces so it could start fighting for us. With the priest way far behind, my units engaged not just the raiders but the ballista, and the ballista is capable of knocking out a unit with one of its arrows that it fires. It's really a powerful unit, so I should have had the priest in the front line with me. So here's our aftermath. The historical outcome says the religion of Egypt remained a powerful unifying force for thousands of years. It overshadowed or influenced the regions of smaller neighboring barbarian cultures. Egyptian religion was not without disruption, however. During the reign of Akhenaten, from 1364 to 1347 BC, for example, the old gods and goddesses were briefly deposed. Pharaoh insisted the people worship only one god, Aten, represented by the disk of the sun. He built a new city and temple for Aten and banned the worship of the old gods, causing great disruption. The names of the old gods were physically removed from many inscriptions. The idea of one god only may have influenced later religions. Within a few years of his death, Akhenaten was branded a heretic, and the old gods and goddesses were restored. Akhenaten is believed to have been the father of Tutankhamun, which of course is the famous King Tut that we've discovered. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Here's our summary here. It looks like our military force was at 28 versus their 5. I don't know about that. That ballista was pretty powerful. They did our military in pretty quickly. I guess we had a lot more units than them, so our economy was definitely more powerful than theirs. They didn't really have any villagers do anything. Our religion was at 30, I guess because we had a priest and they didn't. Our technology was equally at 26, which I think is strange because they had a ballista and we did not. We both survived the encounter, I guess because we didn't destroy all of their buildings, and the final score is 257 to 135, and we win the scenario, and I guess that's that. Well guys, that just about wraps up this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed the show. Today we completed the 8th scenario in the Assist of Egypt learning campaign entitled Crusade, and we learned how to use the priest, or better yet, how not to use the priest. We learned that the priest is not intended to be left behind the front lines. He's supposed to be up front, in the front of combat, while the fight is ensuing, converting the enemy's most powerful units during the fight. And it was a lot of fun, today's episode. The next episode will cover the 9th scenario entitled River Outpost, which sounds exciting, and I really expect these scenarios to just become increasingly more complicated. It seems that we're learning new mechanics with every episode, and I can't wait to see where the series goes, and I hope to see you next time on Gaming with Twinn Age of Empires. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to give us a like and make sure to subscribe so you never miss another video from Twinnrova Gaming. We hope to see you next time on Gaming with Twinn Age of Empires. This is Twinn, signing off.